back for Roottreemania Part 2. Oh, Momo. We will, Mrs. Spleebette, welcome in. Oh gosh, I don't even remember where we left off.
He had a bunch of people, but hard to find.
Getting picked up. I'm not getting picked up. The heck? Windows changed something again?
Probably.
This isn't even the menu that I'm looking for.
Hold on, we're troubleshooting the mic.
$37? Why is this at 37? What happened to the script that I run? Hold on. Yeah. I have an OBS script that runs. It says, sets input volume for default microphone in case Windows or other apps changed it. It tries to set it to 60, but somehow it's only at 37. Okay. Is something?
Okay, we're able to be heard now. We were struggling to find either pictures or occupations.
Right. Both.
Or both. Yeah, I don't think that's her picture. If it was, it should have confirmed it by now.
Yeah. Okay, we got lots of things. Look up. Oh, how does this relate to 8 clues?
Because of Cicely Shan. Cheers.
Sicily?
Let's look at Roottreemania Corporation, maybe? Hang with your pants.
I think we played this. Read this. Okay, do we know all these people? All memorial section for those that perished in the plane crash, including the Roottree sisters, Carl and Brenda, Kurt Johnson. Who's that?
I don't know, but look up.
Mark Sanchez were the pilot and co-pilot of the Roottreemania jet during its crash last December. Although the NTSB investigation has not been released, foul play has been ruled out. Trish King was on the cabin crew of the Roottree's private jet. Elizabeth Nicholson, who went by Eliza, lived in a house with her family about 200 yards from the section of woods where the plane crashed. Reportedly had a heart attack during the commotion, and her family were unable to reach emergency services due to the overwhelmed phone lines and the ongoing storm.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense for overwhelmed phone lines, because if you're calling 911, they'll kick other people off.
I think from all the people calling 911 because of the plane crash. Her son-in-law managed to flag down an officer responding to the plane crash, but it was too late. National Transportation and Safety Board. Alright, be well. Yeah, sorry, we fired up early. So have a good errand, whatever it is.
Look up Elizabeth Nicholson. Okay, look up Mark Sanchez, because that matches whoever her name is.
Same article.
Same article.
We can look them up in periodicals, I guess.
A good idea.
A week after the Roottreemania sisters died in a plane crash, Piketty focused an expose on the pilot and co-pilot. It was widely seen as completely useless and an intentional mischaracterization of the two crew members. For example, they claimed that the co-pilot, who was pilot flying that day, was on pharmaceuticals, but it turned out that he had purchased a mild pain reliever in the airport gift shop the night before. They also claimed the pilot had been let go from his previous position at a much larger airline, which was true, but only as part of a downsize. As far as you can tell, none of this is relevant to your current investigation.
Link is very interested by your problem.
Trish King.
Your article seems like oh, she forgot.
Markle.
This is what happens when you're on my lap lane. Get old.
If I highlight exactly the same thing, so if I do this and then I hit search, and then I highlight exactly the same thing, it acts like it's deselecting it, and it's maddening.
Maddening. Has this run into a dead end?
Didn't try Eliza. Instead of Elizabeth. Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing. Looked up root.
Root website has a small memorial section to the deceased members of the family.
Okay, we've read this.
But it contains no new information. Your sister's fashion. Yeah, we looked that up. Oh yeah, this is how we found Ruby Legal Enterprises, probably.
What, you don't like me smelling your head?
There's gotta be more. See, it just did it again. What if we search for Piketty magazine in the periodicals?
That would be funny.
Yeah, we read this already. News time.
This is why we were resorting to asking the duck at the end of last time.
Mm-hmm. Elizabeth.
Open Brazil. Roottreemania, Brazil. Guy Hudson, Brazil.
Not just Brazil.
That's him. No? Periodical?
What?
They're More periodicals we haven't seen? No, wait. Let me look at this. No, okay.
This hasn't been updated for at least 8 months.
Here.
What about Christine Farrow? Pharoah.
We were talking about Egyptian mythology in mythology today.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we're talking about mythology and mythology?
Not me. James Garland.
James Garland? I'll write that Garland.
Robert Garland.
Real bad.
Chef's signature covered Friday less than a year ago, right around the time you were doing your initial investigation. Each article in Chef's signature tends to focus on a restaurant, and like the magazine's name implies, each restaurant lists the one main dish that the head chef is known for. Friday's signature is the samosa cone. Cover and main
article has been added to your evidence.
Thank you. Can a vegetarian diet be trendy? Sitting down with the Garlands, the new boys in Boston.
Excuse me, that's my hand.
Chef Signature, a nationally published magazine targeted towards fans of unusual restaurants, featured James and Robert Garland on the cover of their November 1998 issue. According to the article, the two brothers own a small walk-up window in Boston called Fry Dye, a play on the tie-dye shirts that the servers wear. They're not wearing them. It exclusively serves vegetarian dishes. Most of the offerings are heavily inspired by the powerful spices found in Thai and Indian food. Their signature dish is the samosa cone, which, from a distance, somewhat resembles a traditional ice cream, complete with waffle pattern. Instead, it contains fried potatoes, pureed peas, carrots, and a special ginger-based sauce. Robert, who is 3 years younger than James, jokes that although the age difference has left him delegated to wear the sous chef jacket, is that this one? His whole life, he doesn't mind. As a result, James answers most of the interview's questions. James credits his love for food and his culinary skills to their upbringing. Most kids hate vegetables growing up, but they didn't have parents like we did. My father was a chef, and my mother grew up on a farm that supplied his restaurant. That's how they met. I don't have any memories from the farm or anything like that since we moved here before I could even talk, but they told me stories. My dad's a great storyteller. He even wrote a book that partially helped fund Friday. When we moved, they were looking to open their own restaurant together. Unfortunately, they never got it off the ground. His line cook gig ended up being less temporary than he hoped, and she had to go back to work as a secretary even after Robert was born. Before we were old enough to go to school, we spent our days with my aunt. In the diner where he worked, my dad had no room for experimenting, so he'd exercise his skills at home on his days off. We'd always go shopping and cook as a family on those days. What?
Looked up at me, but apparently you heard something else.
And even though we were hyper kids running around and causing a ruckus, those were some of our family's favorite moments since we were all together. Mom always had the eye for the best vegetables for him to work with, and she did her best to pass that on to us. According to the article, their parents, who are now retired, visit Friday often. They even have a signature dessert, the Sistine apple. Apple pie has always been my mom's favorite, and my dad always had this stupid line he used to make her laugh involving apple pie. Most people realize it's a Sistine Chapel pun and assume that's all there is to it, but it's actually secretly named after them, sort of.
So we can input their pictures into the tree. Wait,
which one was the sous chef? Robert. Robert's the red one.
Okay, that was rude.
You did it.
Which means we got Bess right.
Mm-hmm. Pauline Webb, Stephen Garland, Thomas Hughes. Oh yeah.
Hugs.
Hughes.
He's a hug.
Story time.
Finally, I think I have you to thank for that one. My family's in a bit of a rough patch. Even though the candy is selling better than ever, Everyone is fighting over the trust. The majority of us want to dissolve it. On paper, it seems like the right decision. The arguments about what to do next are endless and heated. More than a few root trees are worried about losing their wealth. I don't think we deserve it more than anyone else. I love my family, my wife, my daughters, even my son, who I hardly ever get to see. I want to keep them safe and secure, but I didn't do anything to deserve this fortune. Hell, I probably deserve it less than most. It took me way too long to get my life together.
And to lose your hair.
Okay, enough about me. Here's the deal. I can't stop the majority from voting one way or another. If you keep passing along potential root trees, I'll keep adding them to the list. On the other hand, there's been some leaps forward in genetics. It may sound like science fiction, but we can actually determine who's in the family just by testing their DNA. What you've done so far has been very useful. Just keep filling out the tree and we'll prepare for the tests.
We play the game instead of watching.
Yeah, he came in backwards. So he's orbiting this way, and the thing he's trying to rescue is orbiting the other way, and that's a very bad problem.
Rip.
Who's this?
The dude who's a criminal. Clementine.
Mark Clementine. Do we not have a
The
place
child.
to put him yet?
No, it's just he was a child.
Oh, we
and
had
didn't
to
want
lock.
put.
Yeah, we had to lock in his
Yeah,
kid picture first.
we didn't want to put in his mugshot.
Wait, is he not a chef too?
He might be. It's just we already locked 4, and we need to get another 4 to lock them in.
I know. I guess he was. Robert was wearing the sous chef jacket, which means the other one was also chefing. Okay. Fine. Still 2 things. I guess this is one. Show this portrait. Oh, that's cool. You forget where people are. About the Sistine Apple.
I would more look up the Sistine Chapel
The Sistine
first.
Apple and the other thing. Want to look up the Sistine Chapel? Nothing relevant. Yeah, we read this before. This is how we found out, like, some of the info and stuff. Samosa cone. Okay. What other names can we search?
Well, we have a bunch of Elizas.
Susan Ford.
We've already got.
Have we?
Yeah. I have. While you were pottying. You not remember me losing it over the fact I could hear myself while you were
Yeah.
in the bathroom?
Remember.
It was during that.
There are a lot of people named unknown name. Okay. Unknown name. Oh. Right here. Darn. Good guess, though. Ruby Sprant. The thing is, like, we've unlocked more other periodicals. We might find more info in the Herald.
We already read this. Also, she wasn't Susan Ford, she was Miss Ford, who was part of the Hudson Wing at the School for the Deaf Children.
Miss?
Yes. Mrs. Miss.
I tried Miss and Ms.
Okay, go back to figure out what the Randorf School for the Deaf.
Randorf. What are we looking for?
Miss Ford.
Ms. Ford. Fluent in 5 languages, including ASL. Hudson Wing. I think we read this before.
I did. Oh, we figured it out.
Wait. An arrest? Among the avalanche of useless information, you almost miraculously discover one useful article. Grandorf Dove was at the center of a crime article from 1982. It seems that someone defaced the school and vehicles outside of the brand new Hudson wing of the school. There were multiple broken windows, and one of the teacher's cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. Was it Ms. Ford?
Yes.
A few weeks later, a follow-up article provides more details. There was one arrest, Thomas Hughes, who was coincidentally a former student at the school. Apparently, destruction came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. He was not a teacher when he went. He graduated a few years earlier. Of course, nothing untoward happening there. According to the reporter's investigation into the police reports, trials, and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes's current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed not to press criminal charges after an agreement was made to pay for the damages and for the couple to begin the divorce proceedings. It seems Thomas Hughes, Mrs. Hughes, and the Hudson Wing have all avoided further appearances. Was not very useful. Fruitful.
I wish. Wait, you got 2 different results.
What?
You looked up 2 different things and you got 2 different.
Butler County Times, Grandorf Dove. The same thing. And what was the other one? Grandorf School for the Deaf has made a few odd appearances here and there in the Butler County Times since 1990. Hey, what's up, PH? Wow. PH this time. Not too many times you can't look at all of them. Grandendorf, yeah, or Gandorf. It's not too many that you can't look at all of them, and so after scrolling through a few pages, you manage to find something incredibly useful in an article that isn't even focused on the school itself. Local students provide key evidence in scientific study. The article from March of this year, 1999, mentions that the Ford sisters, who attend public school in Butler County, are one of only a handful of identical twins in the world who suffer from 2 different genetic issues. One of them has asthma, and the other has a deadly allergy to peanuts. Their mother, a Ms. Susie Ford, who is principal at the nearby Grandorf School for the Deaf, was originally contacted by researchers looking to identify if there were any sets of twins where one was born deaf and the other was not. While she didn't have any twins attending her school, she asked if her daughters, Melissa and Heather, could be useful, and it turns out they were. She says, "They couldn't be more different. My youngest, we all call her that even though it's only by about 15 minutes, is shy, but essentially hasn't stopped running from the moment she learned to scamper. Asthma has kept her sister off the soccer field, but she's the definition of extrovert, and is even performing in a local production of Is There Life After High School later this year. The article includes a picture of the girls added to your evidence." Photo accompanied an article about a scientific study. The Ford twins were used as part of a nationwide study of how allergies and other diseases affect twins differently. The twin on the left is holding an inhaler, in case you didn't know what these were, and the twin on the right is holding an EpiPen. Okay. What are their names?
Melissa and Heather.
It doesn't say which one's the youngest.
I would just put Melissa and Heather.
I guess she probably says them in order.
Yeah. Like most people do. It would be Ford.
Ford or Hughes?
Ford. Because they got divorced before she gave. Because father was not pleased. That depends. How long ago was this?
Right, this is a
article?
while ago. Maybe. Oh, these are on the same level as these. But 3 women later. So.
Yes. Put in their pictures.
Peanut allergy is not genetic? Yeah, I needed to go back to see which one is which.
You put them in the order they came from.
Which is the one that has asthma?
The older one!
How do you know? I forgot already. Okay?
This is why there's 2 of us.
So this is the older one, right?
Yes.
You did it. What's mom look like? We don't know. Is their life after high school?
1999. So it's from this year.
Is Their Life After High School is a musical. It's quite obscure, only appearing on Broadway for 17 performances after a preview period. Oh, that's the answer is no for this. Okay. Nowadays, it's mostly performed by smaller theater troupes, including high school drama clubs. If you couldn't tell by now, a game designer by the name of Jeremy Johnston was in musical theater all 4 years of high school. There's one song from it that has somewhat surpassed the popularity of the rest of the musical, called The Kid Inside. If you'd like to listen to it, I recommend Barry Manilow's version. Mary Manilow.
I love how
She's
we're
very
just
popular.
breaking the fourth wall.
If you've heard... Are you gonna draw instead of this?
No, I'm looking up the peanut.
If you've heard the song before, it's likely that cover. The entire musical deals entirely with the traumas and nostalgia that society collectively shares about their formative years, which feels appropriately thematic for this game. I've always thought of it as somewhat ironic that they have high school theater clubs perform it, though. Anyways, the key word in that Butler County Times article was local. Meaning it won't be on the internet search, I think.
Click on that.
On the what? Molded Be Kajic. It mold. Mold? Mud. Yes, if we're saying it like could, it'd be mud.
Yes, peanut allergies have a strong genetic component. This AI.
Yes, it is genetic, says AI. Google.
And then
Gemini.
John Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health also says probably.
Huh.
I mean, it makes sense. Most allergies are genetic.
We check anything off of anywhere.
I don't know.
It still has 2.
But I can't touch you?
No.
Why not?
Boston.
No, Boston. Boston doesn't exist.
Indian food.
I'm literally touching his thigh with my knee because I need to just go closer to see the computer.
Alright, I can scoot over.
No, it's fine. I'm a touchy person.
Sorry.
I'm not like Mom, who hates touch besides your touch.
We already have this. Is this the same Susan Ford?
Mm-hmm.
Was office staff here before being a principal.
I mean, that's why we know Guy Hudson had an affair with her.
Victor Logan.
No.
Amy Sutton.
The Apple Chapel thing in the food. Search the Apple Chapel thing in the food. The assisting.
What? Too many things.
Sistine Apple.
Sistine Apple? I thought I did that.
Just led to the
Yeah,
same
it's just
thing.
the same article. Samosa cone.
Look it up on.
Chapel pie. Yeah, that one.
Look up samosa cone on the internet.
Spider search. Nothing. Okay, we can come back to it. We don't have a lot of things to look into.
Reminder says only one now.
Butler County, Pennsylvania.
Nothing. Nothing.
Fine.
Nothing.
Lauren Roottreemania? I think we read this. Relocated back to Pennsylvania when she began suffering from Alzheimer's. Minor backlash towards the reporter that tracked Lauren down because they were caught standing. Yeah. Miracle Roottree. It was Miracle
We've already
Senior.
looked at this.
Yeah, we did.
We looked up.
The real want room was 5.
What you changed?
No, it
Color.
changes every time. Load the page.
Are you sure about that?
Those have been 3 different greens.
The first two didn't look like different ones with the brief glimpse I got. Five pieces. So many.
They're all old. Didn't work because I had highlighted it before.
It doesn't like you.
Yeah, we do this. And we think that Ruby is
Child of
here.
Glass.
Not a neutral third party. Loisius herring root tree.
Which I looked up again. Still leads nowhere.
AKA red.
It's old. Or the statues by mine still old?
Thing? Oh. Probably. There's at least 6 pieces. Caroline Morden did a television interview. Someone
Alright,
had
we looked.
uploaded a partial transcript. Only her answers. It has no intuition.
This Sanchez has to be one of guys.
Yeah. Huh. I'm not sure why that worked like that.
Hmm.
How did this? Well, from
Because
Ruby Legal Enterprises.
it's doing the Krantz Trust and not Ruby.
Vasselbub.
Ass?
Maybe it's just like there's 8 things in Piketty magazine somewhere.
Papa.
Who's this guy's kids? Why do we know that they Webb was their last name?
Because their mother went no. Well, we know one of them is.
Well, let's search up Colleen Webb.
It's gonna be the weird. Well, if you look up Mark Clementine, it's the Clementine verse.
Crocodile.
Crocodile.
Right. Arrested.
Because he
Spawn
had to
of
land
Satan,
because
yeah.
a crocodile was trying to eat him. Portland Telegraph?
Portland Telegraph is your run-of-the-mill newspaper based out of Portland, Oregon. They have a website with a lot of dry statistics about how many subscribers they have, how many issues there have been, and awards they've won. The website doesn't appear to have any useful data. But the periodical might. We should look marking the periodicals now. Portland Telegraph, Crocodile Clementine. Portland Telegraph was the one that provided the nickname Crocodile Clementine and has some details about Crocodile Clementine's first major arrest. He's flying weekly between Los Angeles, Juarez, and Vancouver in a small plane. His flights were very low, literally under the radar. He was only caught because he was bit by a crocodile on the leg and had to call in a mayday because he was losing blood. Tried to tell them he was a crop duster who somehow cut his leg on a loose piece of metal in the cockpit, but his story seemed very odd and controllers quickly alerted the police without informing him. When he landed, they were waiting and he was promptly arrested. Victim moved to San Diego to live with her sister. Oh yeah, here you go. She raised them both by herself. Although she never went through the trouble of changing their names legally, they used the web names so that nobody would connect them to her ex.
Well, are they still?
So their birth
Clementine?
certificates said Clementine. Means that's the name we put on here.
And if you go to one about
But if we find
the
out
incident, there's the name of one of the children, the
Is that
youngest children. But Billy Sims.
What?
Oh, not that one. One of the ones that say Billy. Mary. The younger one is Mary.
Mary. Do we know the younger one?
I don't.
Or what?
The younger one, Mary. This happened fairly recently, and a high school student isn't married.
Oh. Mary Clementine. Picture. That's her.
She's probably a college student, and I would assume that the older student is actually just like Beth or Elizabeth, because their grandmother was Mary Beth.
Oh, so one's named Mary and one's named Beth? That's boring. Okay, well, we still have 8 on this.
Yeah.
What was the periodical we just got? Portland Telegram. Anything else from Portland to look up? Mom's name? The one we just read.
Yeah. Is that?
It's a medicine container I keep in my backpack. Very fidgety. Okay, what else should we look at? What do you want to hint? I have no idea where we're going.
I mean, before we ask the duck, let's look at our tree and see if there's any. Where we.
This didn't get locked. That is his name?
Not his
Something's wrong.
name, but that's
Oh,
his
that's
picture.
his picture? That's what I meant. Not Edison? I'm pretty sure it said that Sterling was his
Switch
first name.
them. Edson?
already read all that.
Comment.
What? I have a zit right here. Scratching it.
Okay, we can ask the rubber ducky.
What do we look at? Missing issue of Piketty by Sisley Sanchez attracted a particular group of people.
Go to evidence. That did she work?
Yeah, like conspiracy theorists. This popular gift be filling homes with satanic messages.
Roottrees, where?
Should we search for Basilbub? It's saying the missing issue attracted a particular group of people.
Well, go back to the whatever her name is. Sanchez's an article or periodical.
Cancelled book by Sisley Sanchez. Book subject was Guy Hudson, and the issue was said to contain picture.
So just or look her up.
Who? We did this. We look up these books? I think we did. Yeah.
Still.
Foreign Gospel. Gospel-y. Tells the tale of a man from the Catholic Church who claims he was told by God he should travel to Thailand and begin to preach.
Oh. The lawyers? They didn't really mention Ruby, it just said the retreat. No. Well.
Affected a certain group of...
Conspiracy theorists.
That's what I said.
Alright, how do we look up conspiracy theory?
Oh, just here. Google.
Subject of some
Conspiracy
risks.
theory.
This is new.
During your initial search, you came across Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page about the root trees. This one. 8 months later, the page still exists and is thriving. The visitor count has reached 7. Oh, he's got a visitor counter. I remember those. Reached 7 digits. Digits. Many older articles have been replaced. It seems that the recent uprising in Nutri Ruse has left Thomas Overwood with a constant stream of events to base new theories on. More than one of his root trees theories. More than one of his theories involve root tree deaths being faked. According to Overwood, statistically, when you have this many high-profile people who have died in a family, the odds are that one of them faked their death. It's just math. This newfound focus on death faking seems to coincide with a post mentioning that he's begun believing the guy's not dead theory. In his own words, my eyes have been opened and all of this is beginning to make too much sense. One of his posts details the belief that Ron Roottree is still in charge. Gwyn Roottree's death was faked, and that Clark is only there to throw people off. Apparently, this allowed Ron to travel to France to develop their new candy recipe in secret. Another is about the rapper 5Ps. He can't possibly be a Root Tree. One of his first album songs, when he was performing under the devil name. What was his name?
Something David.
Dirty David or something? I can't remember. Actually mentioned that he wanted to have sex with Raina. Not even Sam Madsen is spared. According to Overwood, the author's 6 Pieces isn't real. Sam Madsen is an anagram for Am Madness. They're purposely leaving hints for us, yes. He is spot on for conspiracy theories. He claims that by using 6 Pieces with Lauren Roottree's book as a one-time pad, he has begun to decrypt a cipher. Most of the cipher has seemed meaningless, but he managed to pick out the words people and vastness and is working on figuring out what it means. There's also a request at the bottom. Next year, 2000, is leap year, and Overwood is looking for funds and volunteers to catch the Root Trees red-handed in Operation RT-29. We've looked at that, right? He specifically mentions not to volunteer if you've ever drunk Spirit Cola, but doesn't go into why.
The guy isn't dead?
That's the theory. The conspiracy theory.
That's just a theory. A conspiracy theory.
The Guy's Not Dead conspiracy stems from a website that focuses on clues that the Root Trees have supposedly hid all over the place. This includes on candy wrappers, in print advertisements, in television commercials, in their jingles, etc.
Jingles!
The story, according to the website, is that Guy Hudson was a terrible president of the Root Tree Company and introduced multiple failed products. Something needed to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favor of consumers, so they killed off Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year, more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight, and some people even theorize he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise, which is why he stopped appearing in public. People who run the site are asking for help. They're certain that there's a clue to all of this that accidentally leaked in a banned article from the magazine Piketty. On their page is a scan of the magazine's cover, the interview with Sisley Sanchez about Guy Hudson, and some photos. You add them to your evidence.
Look, it disappeared.
Wow. What did?
Piketty one. Not at the top anymore.
It's a 2 now. Shut up! The same one? Yeah.
Yeah, we need to read it.
This is an interview with Sisley Sanchez, an author. She was hired to write a book about Guy Hudson. He claimed to have been paid a significant amount to write a book about one of the Root Trees, Guy Hudson. He was president for a short period. What is he barking at? Nothing's happening, dork.
What about the girl?
What about the garage? Papa's in the basement. He hasn't come up. Nothing's happening. You're barking at nothing! He was president for a short period at the end of the 1970s, right? Yeah, I met him on New Year's Eve, actually. The last night of 1978. Guy liked to throw big parties. I was just coming off of Changed Man, and looking for my next project. When his wife...
What's he doing now?
Sorry, I think he ran into a problem. I'm gonna have to watch that VOD. When his wife learned who I was, she invited me to the party and they cornered me to talk about a book. That was the first time anyone recognized me from work. Hey, it's Meowski. I can close this tab now. Meowski, what's up? Fuzzy Pickles. I wanted to say how was the raid, but we're in the raid section. How was the stream? Were you watching NMG, playing NMG? Did you win at NMG? This is what. Thank you, Dennis. Grandma's back. All right, Mrs. Spleebette. We're just reading.
It's not very interesting right now.
1 second world record. Nice. So the only run that I didn't watch is the world record run? Jeez. How rude of you. Anyway, I hope the NMG was fun. We are playing Root Tree. The game is actually called The Root Trees Are Dead, but we're doing the second mode, which is called Roottreemania. And we're reading a whole bunch of stuff and trying to figure out a story.
And Dad keeps stumbling over his
125.32, not even the spleeb cut. 40 seconds after mine. That's good. Failed EBJ, backed it up with a hover. Nice. Failed hammering up, backed it up with a hover. Nice. Got one blue ball, backed it up with a hover. Yeah, only plus 15 after that light world like that is amazing. Okay. I'm going back to reading. That was the first time anyone recognized me from my work. I'd finally made it. The book they asked me to write sounded great, but then none of the stuff that made him interesting was allowed to stay. Chop, chop, snip, snip. Anything with even the slightest threat to Guy's image ended up gonzo. What was the stuff that made him interesting? At his core, Guy was not complicated. In fact, I think I could boil him down to 2 traits. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias Roottree. Second, he'd never be satisfied living the life needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and good looks, and he really liked to exploit that to pick up women. But he couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover it up. That was the only interesting aspect of Guy. He was James Bond, trying to convince people he was Mr. Rogers, I guess. Mr. Rogers, really? Maybe that's not the best metaphor. But Elias Roottree was boring as all hell and all about family. Guy did everything he could to be seen that way. After I submitted my first draft, he sent me this garbage book, The Roottree Legacy. You need to look that up. With Elias on the cover. Hey, look, first highlight of the game. The last time he and I met,
another highlight, you just deleted it.
He had even switched out his orange suits for the same green ones Elias wore. And remember fancy flavors? Guy knew that part of Elias's legacy was the 5-piece flavors. So that's what Guy tried to do too. Caviar was a disaster here, but it was actually somewhat popular in Brazil for whatever reason. In Christmas 1979, he went to Brazil to open the Roottree Brazil factory. Maybe we should search that too.
That was one of the...
We tried. Guy was always hopping around the world trying to recreate that success. So how come the book never came out? It's complicated. I had an out in my contract. Surprisingly, Guy signed the contract my lawyers wrote without running it by anybody in his legal department. I could pull my name off the book at any time, but Guy still got the content. After I left, it probably got a lot harder to convince any real publisher to give it their time. On the next page. He was the president, right? Do you know why he never released it himself? If I had to guess, his family very wisely put a stop to it. Mid-1981, months after I had already moved on, he called me back and showed me a final draft. You know how expensive it is to publish one copy of a book? It had my name on it in big, shiny, embossed letters. Like all problems in his life, throwing money at me was his attempt to win me back. But it had half the page count and the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good. Imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of my mortgage. We all got pretty drunk. Sent his mistress, Susie something, into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl. I remembered her from our trips overseas. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last that ever came up. Okay, wait, do we have... Oh, Susan. Unhighlight. What can you tell us about the family? Any insight into the scandals from the recent book by Sam Madsen? I actually haven't read it. I just skimmed the sections on Guy to see why people were suddenly calling me up to ask about the man. I'd say she did well for what she had to work with. She only had rumors, whereas I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottree Brazil, which we still need to look up. But I actually had people on him when he went to Australia, France, and China too. When he met with someone, I'd figure out who they were and how they were involved. Doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Despite his best efforts, I got the whole truth, including things even his family never knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, I think her name was Robin, he and she definitely spent a few nights together that he didn't want his family to know about. We don't have a Robin yet, right? Maybe here? Maybe here?
One of these.
But I did. Madsen got things wrong. Sam mentions Guy's affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them, like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his wife first approached me, though, it wasn't to talk, if you get my meaning. Oh. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial arrangement. They both got what they wanted out of it. The same thing. What was that? I'm assuming I only have to spell it out. so you can get it in writing for your readers. Women. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more accessible. I told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. I found out later that if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had to be there too. Guy, on the other hand, was seen in a traditional marriage and at the same time could bed any women that found him charming. I can assure you that was exactly the type of marriage he was interested in.
So it was mutually,
Infidelious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what you were.
That one.
Wait, you can just click on
Ruchi
it.
Brazil, sometimes erroneously refer. I clicked on it and that's what it came up in the notebook.
Yeah, but, like you clicked on it again and for some reason
I don't know. One of the companies created to manufacture and distribute Root Tree candy. It was developed as part of the Root Tree Everywhere initiative near the beginning of 1979. Unlike some of the other Root Tree Everywhere results, Root Tree Brazil seemed to be a success. You do some rough translating, find a significant amount of information about it. Brazil was the only region in which caviar-flavored 5 pieces, released at the end of 1978, were a hit. The primary reason that the factory still exists to this day is solely to create that flavor, which comes in its own standalone 5 pieces bag with Portuguese writing. A small town named Alvalagos, near the municipality of São Bernardo do Campo, became the chosen
such a strong English accent.
Became the location chosen by the Root Tree Candy Company after a newly elected local politician named Edson Suarez heard they were planning a new factory and petitioned them in early 1979. The factory was controversial as locals did not want it there. Soligarish wanted Canada. Yeah, maybe. Locals did not want it there. The Root Trees visited Brazil around Christmas and managed to break ground on the project. Since then, however, it has been operating relatively smoothly except for 2 incidents. The first was Incendio do Bordo in 1982, and the second was an unsuccessful strike in 95 that involved all of the factory workers being replaced.
Instead of listening to the strike, it's just like,
Yeah,
you know what,
it's
all
like,
of you
okay,
are fired.
you're all fired.
Surely they can't fire all of us. Oh, they did.
The factory was originally built and run, according to paperwork at the time, by a small company called Nova Corporação de Doces Brazil, literally translated to New Brazil Candy Corporation. This company no longer exists. Not much information has ever existed about it, and the Root Trees now run Root Tree Brazil entirely.
Oh, no.
So I double-clicked, and that's why I did it. It wouldn't have been the full name. Edson Suarez was a Brazilian politician. You find a dissertation published by a college student as part of their PhD in history. Focuses on the rise of democracy in Brazil. It seems up until 1988, Brazil was run by the military, and the politics during that time were often a hotbed for corruption and nepotism. The paper tells of a few politicians at the time, including Edson Suarez. Edson is a former mayor of Alvalagos, Brazil. Before politics, he was a manager in an automotive manufacturing plant for a major American car company. He was put in charge of Alvalagos by the military government in 1973. As a mayor, he used his manufacturing background and knowledge of American business to establish new factories, distribution plants, and other business ventures in the area. This had 2 side effects. First, he became quite rich. Second, many locals were forcibly relocated. This did not make him a popular mayor. In what the paper speculates was a move to counteract this unpopularity, his wife Sonia was discreetly put in charge of a television station called Telerede. He often used this connection to ensure supporters would appear on local television spouting his beliefs and emphasizing his political victories. He remained in office until 1988 when he was defeated in the first election after the military government was no longer in control. After this election loss, he quickly left the town behind. It is not known where he has gone, but the dissertation even speculates he likely fled out to stay alive. I don't think any of this was relevant. Not much to go on about who ran it and when.
Go back. Root Tree Everywhere. Or the Root Tree Everywhere initiative.
Root Tree Everywhere was an expansion in the late 70s that coincided with some other large changes at the company and had mixed success. As far as you can tell, the different companies related to it were all formed in very different and sometimes haphazard ways. There's minimal organized information about the history of the expansion itself online, but you can glean the following. Root Tree candy has been distributed globally to certain markets, improved by Elias as early as the 1940s. This included places like Canada, Mexico, and select countries in Europe, mostly the UK. Rootree Everywhere involved Roottree's expansion to other major markets that were assessed to be ready for Rootree. It started with 4 that it had no share in: Australia, Brazil, China, and France. Each of the companies had an entirely new company formed, the countries rather, mostly by making deals with local distributors and manufacturers. Okay, fine. Rootree Aus is one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute Rootree candy. It was developed as part of the Rootree Everywhere initiative in summer 1979. According to a history website for Rootree Aus, Charles Martin, who owned a company that manufactured licorice, Malmo, in Australia, was tapped to run the Rootree factory after he impressed the American leadership of the Rootree Candy Company at the time. Rootree Aus did have some success, but only in certain regions. The manufacturing leg of the company shuttered in 1992 after the death of Martin, and Rootree Aus now serves as an importer and distributor. Charles Martin was a candy manufacturer in this rabbit hole. In Australia, born in 1923, he had a popular brand of licorice named Martin's Licorice Bullets, because they knocked you out. Good, same article. Most of his history is unrelated to Roottree's. However, in 1979, he helped to develop Rootree Aus. He used his own wealth to build a new factory, and they distributed the maple treats through the same methods he had already been using for his previous candy venture. Subjects. Yes, Spider Search is just Google, basically. It's an unbranded internet search. I mean, it's branded Spider Search, but it's a previously unknown brand. But yeah, web browser. That's funny. Website about Australian Committee Commerce mentions that he had a very unusual business agreement with the main Rootree company in the US, much like how the Clancy Trust distributed the profits from the Rootree company evenly to the Rootree family. Profits of the Rootree Aus would be split 50-50 between the American Rootree company and Martin himself. Him to do with what he was, so he was stinking rich. This made Martin very, very wealthy, but also led to many cost-cutting measures meant to increase profits as much as possible, especially toward the end of Martin's life in the early 1990s. Rootree candy gained a poor reputation in Australia and sales suffered immensely. Charles's vast fortune was passed along to his daughter, Robin Martin, who sold both businesses at the first opportunity. Robin Martin is featured in many of the top 100 wealthiest women in the world lists. She owns a private island off the coast of Australia where she reportedly has her own exclusive retreat. She has no husband, and there was a widely circulated rumor somewhere in the mid-70s that she had a medical procedure to ensure she never would have children. You find a joke on a site called Edgy Jokes that implies she's quite promiscuous and has a punchline involving Robin's eggs. For what it's worth, Martin seemed to lean into the rumors. In the 80s, she once showed up at a charity function with 3 very attractive men, each wearing a shirt that said simply "Satisfied Partner" on it.
So Robin Martin,
The one you remember using in 9th grade? I mean, there may have been one actually named WebCrawler, yeah. I used Dogpile. We're so far down a rabbit hole, I don't know how to get out. Here we go.
Robin Martin is... You went down the Australia rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go to the tree. Robin's gonna be that one.
This one?
Yes.
Why?
Because if she was with Guy Hudson, she most likely had a child and then was like, you know what? I'm never having children again.
Doesn't say she had a child.
Yeah, but she was with Guy. And she's the only one so far that hasn't had a husband.
She wasn't with Guy. She was with Charles Martin.
Yeah, no, isn't...
No, that's his daughter.
Yeah, and it was his Australian business partner, his daughter was the one he was with, so it would be Robin Martin.
Okay, I'll put it in. Bring back Ask Jeeves. But she also had a child?
I think so. And she just hid it from everyone, and then, you know what? I don't want the ability to have any more children.
Okay. I look up Martin's licorice bullets. Oh yeah, it's the same. Okay. Look up Root Tree, Brazil. We already did. China. China Root Tree is one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute Root Tree candy. It was developed as part of the Root Tree Everywhere initiative in the summer of 1979. In the late 70s, China began to go through a period of economic reform. This led to new opportunities for American companies, and Root Tree Candy Company decided to pounce. He's only got one Kerbal on that ship. I guess it probably prevented him from burning while the Kerbals were on ladders. I knew it was a bad idea. And so he sent Jeb home and left Valentina out there. That's funny.
You're referencing someone else's stream on your stream?
Yeah, I do it all the time. The fun part is people have to guess who I'm talking about. Lang Hongbo, who was said to personally win over the Root Tree family and was the owner of multiple textile factories, did not wish to import the ingredients and build a special factory to manufacture the candy in China. So instead, they made a deal to import bulk unpackaged Root Tree candy and label it for not only China but additional markets. Hongbo, who was already in his mid-50s when the deal happened, only had daughters, and his brother Lang Hongyu took control upon... Why don't they have... Lang is the last name. Took control upon his death in 1980. It's weird for them to refer to the first name. They usually, yeah, that's what got me confused. After Hongyu died in 1992, it passed to the oldest child from the next generation, Lang Jinyu. Oh yeah, she'll be fine. She's hanging out with Bob and Bill for several years.
They have enough.
We need to look up these people.
Food.
Gosh. Lang.
And quilts.
Tranquilts is a play on tranquil and quilts. The name is ironic considering they're the loudest quilts you've ever seen. The main quilt featured on their website is a flaming unicorn soaring through space with peace symbols all around it.
Okay, that is quite
Although
loud.
they were listed on the website for the Lang Tai Textile Company, they don't seem to have much. Piece of Asia. It's a good pun. Piece of Asia is the American arm of Lang Tai, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. According to their site, the Tai in Lang Tai translates to peaceful, so they chose their name in America to match. There are a lot of other companies listed here, too many to investigate, as very few of them seem to have any relevance. It seems Piece of Asia is nearly as accomplished as Lang Tai. Now for fabrics and cloths at wholesale prices, you don't spot anything out of the ordinary. This is said to be owned by husband and wife Jerry and Linda Han. The N look weird. Their Chinese names are listed too, and from using an online translator, it seems that Jerry is Han Junwei and Linda is Lang Jinyao. Oh, she's the CEO of Lang Tai. Is any of this relevant to anything?
I don't know, maybe guys.
Lang Jinyu in China, the family name comes first, so Lang is her last name. Is a businesswoman currently running the Lang Tai Textile Company. She was recently listed in an article on a website written by and for women. The article, entitled Empowered, is about the recent rise of women entrepreneurs in China. The article states that due to her lack of brothers, she has a younger sister, Lang Jinyu took over as CEO of the family's company in 1992 after her elderly uncle was deemed unfit to run the company due to mental deterioration. This is apparently an extremely controversial move among the company's employees, and some of them, the article does not say how many, quit and wrote a letter stating that she must have coerced him in his vulnerable state. Since then, the company has been performing well. Her nephew, who is currently her second in command, is expected to take over when she retires. In the meantime, the board's stance has been a twist on a popular proverb. The article roughly translates it as, someone that has proven they can do something well can do it 100 times well. An unproven leader could doom us all. The article also offhandedly mentions that Chinyu was an early adopter of IVF and helped her sister have a child. There is an unsourced picture of Chinyu in the article. It says that it's from 1992 when she took over. She was 45 at the time. It's been added to her evidence.
Okay, which one of them got?
Does that mean she's here?
One of them is. Who knows which one?
Well, this one.
Yeah.
What other option is there? Okay. Helped her sister have a child?
Well, it makes sense for her to be the one.
Wang. Chinyu.
You know?
See yo.
Yo. See.
Photo was the first from a magazine interview with Sisley Sanchez. I'm looking in the background now. This game has taught me. Thank you, Corey. It's Windows 98, actually. Maybe. Actually, did Windows 98 come out in 98? Because I think we're in 99 now.
Yeah.
But also, it's definitely not Windows at all. Alright, so this is Guy. Who's this? This is,
Zach.
Zach. Who's this?
Oh.
Side girl number 1. Or 2. Or 3 or 4 or 5.
Wife?
This photo is the first from a magazine interview with Sisley Sanchez and Piketty. Oh, who's that? Now we're looking at the background. The issue of Piketty magazine that came from was pulled from the shelves, but you managed to find it online. Piketty did not label its individual photos. Both photos were instead under the shared label. Sisley was provided these photos by the Root Tree Company for use in her book. The background of the photo, there's a Christmas tree and another girl.
So we have to figure out who is at the New Year's.
Wait, do we have Sisley in our tree?
No, she didn't get with Guy. She seemed quite iffy.
But is she like the daughter of someone?
Think so. I don't remember who it. So many pictures of Guy.
And
Bunch of other ladies.
this guy. Who's that guy?
Is that guy?
I don't know.
Go look at the company files.
Yeah, I actually need to step away for a minute.
Okay, turn off your camera so I can.
Ugh. You're back.
I'm in control now. Mwahahaha. Dad's seat is too hot. Okay, I want to look at this. Not this one. This one that has the Christmas tea. Christmas tree bash. Got those every year. What's the other picture? From. This is just a random. Oh, we can move her. Here, while father is away, we can probably do... this one. Han Jinwei. Han. Jinwei. You have his picture? You the only one in her photo? Apparently. Looked up Roottreemania, or did we get sucked down in Chinese? Let's run the hole. Kristen Robert. Eh. Wait, what did...
Why are you sitting like that?
Take a picture for mother. You found that one off like 2 times? Did you take a picture?
Yeah. Ugh. Come back and she's sitting like this. Did you find anything out? This is old data.
Oh, this. I don't want to go here. Look, a guy. No, so that girl in the picture must be who though?
That's Sisley Sanchez.
Be sure?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't both of them say the same thing?
Oh,
First
I
from a
guess not.
magazine.
Sisley was provided these photos by the Roottreemania company for use in her book. Yeah, so that could be her and Stephen Garland.
So
Oh,
I'm wondering.
well, that's one with the photo. Well, maybe, hold on. Maybe these two are switched. Oh, but we know her husband.
Or it might not be her. It never said anything about her and her husband divorced.
About Lang?
Yeah.
Did it say something about her husband?
It said something about her husband, but not about them divorcing. Go up actually.
Because this one's definitely here, and so those two definitely need to be there. Oh, and this is locked in too. What? Yeah, I saw. You're welcome. Tristan Roberts.
The French guy who seemed very mad.
Oh, did you? Pokemon or Pocket Monsters is a video game franchise made by Nintendo that premiered in different countries over the last few years. 1997 in Japan, 98 in the US, and more recently in other countries such as France. Besides Roottreemania, Pokemania has swept the globe in the last year or so. Unclear if the franchise will have any lasting presence or if it will fade. Yeah, I bet it's gonna fade.
Yeah, and it's not like they make a game every year or so.
So you looked up the French?
Branch. Yes, I looked at the French one. Seemed very mad that guy was trying to get with his wife.
One of the worst men I've ever met. He approached my wife about having an affair, which she refused. He then kept insisting that this was the best way to celebrate the end of our business contract. I don't think he expected her to say no, and I don't think he thought she would tell me what happened. I punched him in the face and refused to attend another meeting with this man. He lost a lot of money on this deal because not only was he a terrible person, but he was also a terrible businessman. When he died shortly after, it felt like the universe was working things out. I wasn't surprised to learn he had a secret child. He seemed to treat women like collectible pocket monsters.
Pokemon! I have no idea who she is. Because I looked at the family tree and I was like, is it Zach's wife? No, it's not.
Probably her. Be my guess. This doesn't make sense though. Unless this is just some random other guy.
And there's someone in the background, which might actually be,
Maybe the background girl was her.
no, I think the background girl is probably, her.
What?
It makes sense. Because we know Guy took her places.
Oh.
So I think those two photos are of Suzanne. Along with, the Look on the pictures again. For one moment. That girl. Not that girl. That girl. That girl. It's also...
I think that's Susan also?
Yeah. Bring it to the bowl.
Guess we'll keep that as the main picture since she's sort of looking at the camera.
Sorta.
That makes sense. Hey, if we manage to lock in 4 things and we get just the picture, then we'll know what's happening over here.
Yeah.
Okay, who do we have? One. What was her occupation?
I don't know.
Robin Martin.
She seems like a model or something.
Wealthiest women in the world. Private island. No husband. Robin's eggs. Edgy jokes.
Look her up in periodicals.
Apparently Robin Martin sold off her father's assets in '92, the year after he died, which combined with her intelligence immediately catapulted her to an almost unimaginable level of wealth. The writer at Business Watch, who was assigned to report on this news, seems to disapprove of this move immensely. While the article does touch on the announcement of who took over the licorice division, as well as what was to become of the maple candy factory, the entire text seems to be dripping with contempt that someone would be willing to dismantle and gut such a successful company to earn a quick buck. The article ends with a dig at Robin's personal life and lack of traditional values, but who am I to judge? Maybe she sold it to ensure a better future for her own children. Oh, wait. Well, maybe she was the CEO temporarily?
Look at the list of jobs. I should have 4 by now. Unless they're college students and not K through 12. Well, look them up again. Scurry. They're...
Looked up too many
Grandar,
things.
School of the Deaf. For the deaf. There are high school students.
In 1999, yeah, okay.
Well, who do we have run? Wait, all of them. Yeah, but how do a blonde and a redhead make brown-haired babies?
I don't know. Is she a secretary?
Yeah. Or well, was. Who knows what she is now?
Find her anywhere?
Just in the company files.
Okay. There's something wrong. Secretary and Piketty photo 2. The timing of Zach's retirement, there's only one person this could be.
Look at the company files. Company files. Confidential. First one. Beth Knox. Has to be Beth. Then Knox is where is it? Secretary. That right?
Photo 2. Is that the right one?
We get it right, Duck?
Christine Garland.
We were right with Christine Barrow.
That work.
Who knows? Okay, look at the company files again. I want to see.
Elizabeth Farrow.
Elizabeth. Okay, her name is Elizabeth, not Christine.
The doc just said it's Christine.
Yeah, she could have changed her name when she got married. You know,
But this also says they were farm and manufacturing. It's gotta be like her mom.
No, it's this one. He's Elizabeth. He has to be.
I don't think so.
Let's go down a little bit.
There's no Christine on here.
What? Next one?
Farrow was hired. 76.
Christine Farrow is no longer listed as one of the secretaries, but Christine Garland.
When did Zach?
Zach retired. That's right, but then who do we have wrong?
Oh, Guy replaced Zach in 78. So Guy Hudson was special management here, but wasn't president until 78. So in 77, Christine Farrow is in this picture. Okay, makes sense.
Who else do we have? Has to be Susan. I think, yeah.
This is the same person.
Ask a duck.
Maybe these are backwards? Maybe the names are backwards?
Sure. What's their name? Steve.
Yep.
Who doesn't list their twins in age order?
Ah!
Scared me.
I was right.
Okay, so change before we
This
forget.
is not Junwei Han.
Means, yeah, okay. Switch.
What was the other girl's name?
Melissa.
Get back. Kind of. Good luck, Taco Bell.
You just missed Dad scaring the crap out of me by saying he was right about a thing.
Because I just stuck this guy, because we couldn't figure out how this guy in the picture
Related.
was related, because they seemed like they're together, maybe.
And then he's clearly
definitely the third
eyeing
wheel
her
in
up.
this thing. Thought his like nails were painted. It was just pink.
Okay.
But we also read
Dog
about
lungs.
Lang Jin Yu, who I think may be here. And that's Robin Martin there. I think. Okay.
But I don't know if I'm answering out loud again. Another person. Well, then have your old father here set up a call.
Who's this one?
Oh. Unknown. Then put the picture of the woman there. Wait, can you look up the 100 hottest or richest, wealthiest women in Australia?
The 100 hottest women in Australia. That's what she said.
Wealthiest. I misspoke.
In what? Business?
Oh. 100 wealthiest women in Australia.
There's more than 100 women in Australia.
Father!
What? Where did we read about that?
Under... Not this, but Robin Martin's like...
Top 100 wealthiest women in the world.
Oh, in the world, not Australia.
Nothing relevant.
Look it up. If you can highlight it.
Nothing. You're answering out loud again. What's up, close? You're welcome. Hey, wait, she had no husband. So this isn't her.
Yeah, and we were told there was red herring, so who knows if Robin and you are even affairs.
True. Except he's definitely here.
Yeah, so
So,
maybe that's not Robin, that's
Who's
someone
this?
else.
We don't know. No.
Adorable.
Nothing.
Ah!
Are you singing to your dog?
I'm a weird child.
Wow. You don't have very many clues. That's true. How was it here? Heather and Melissa. Well, she named them in alphabetical order.
And then set them backwards. Like, would you ever say,
But then she said Melissa and Heather. My daughters, Melissa and Heather.
Maybe she likes her younger.
Yeah, that must be it. Favorite child. Right there. Okay, we should figure out what this guy's name. Clementine.
Clementine.
Is his name Sterling Clementine?
First name Clementine, last name Sterling.
Mary Beth has been twice divorced, both times to her manager, Sterling.
Who's her manager?
Sterling.
What's his first name? How late do you think? I don't know.
I don't know.
But we should get to bed by like 10:30. So like 10 maybe.
Got the whole world in his hands. His eye is on the sparrow. Oh, it's a him. I don't know that one. Sterling. Unusual circumstances of her second son's adoption have prevented her from touring recently. Well, it's gotta be Clementine. Right? Where else are they getting this name? We'll just wait now and see. So another hour and a half. Yeah, maybe. Jeb's coming home finally. Maybe. I don't know anything about. We're just guessing that she's there.
You know nothing about that side of the truth.
This
Married
is
and died.
Married, yeah. So they died.
Mary died.
Hondo.
What? Why is
Hondo.
it filled out for us? Can we not find it?
About Beth Clementine.
Super play for Ped Fire Rod.
Well, let's actually just look. Clementine.
Not Clementine was ours.
I don't know. Oh look, you can switch.
Instead of have the child photo, have the mugshot.
We can't switch those ones. Only switch the new ones.
Oh, I like the sky photo the most.
Fine. Oh, only after they're locked in can you switch them. You're making the mystery games MSU. Will it have tracks from this one?
Jazzy.
For Edson Suarez mentioned a wife. Should she be involved with the Roottrees?
Roottrees!
Wife Sonia. Yeah, we didn't search up Sonia Suarez. Not seem to be anyone relevant by the name of Sonia Suarez listed anywhere online you can find.
Flavio.
However, Cider Search does return a page that lists a news anchor in Brazil named Flavio Suarez, who has a mother named Sonia. Flavio Suarez is a young Brazilian newscaster with a bit of a cult following. Discourse surrounding him is, to put it in polite terms, lewd. There's a website about something called fan fiction that has a small section dedicated to him. It seems that women and some men of a wide variety of ages and writing skill tend to find him worthy of inclusion in their stories. We skim some of the tales there and learn the common thread is that he's currently dating a supermodel named Ashley York. Ashley. Many stories either seem to ignore her existence or get out of the picture rather quickly. There are also other more traditional fan sites that list some things about him, including his age, 18, his zodiac sign Libra, his favorite food, grilled steak, and his mother's name Sonia. Also, it seems that Flavio translates to golden-haired. One website with a signed publicity photo of Flavio seems to confirm this. This photo has been added to your evidence. To Natasha. This is from Brazil. Flavio!
Flavio!
Okay. So, this not her? I mean, this is absolutely a picture of Jin Yu Lang. But where else would she go?
I don't know if she's even on the tree.
Why do we have a picture of her then?
Red herrings?
I don't think so. What are you Googling?
What if fanfiction.net was around in 1999? It was.
When? 1998? Wow. I'm tempted to pick her out and put Sonia Suarez there. Well, maybe this is Sonia Suarez.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Suarez.
And this was the husband.
Well, her first name her maiden name can't be Suarez.
Right. What was his name?
Edson.
Edson?
Yes, Edson. Flavio.
Suarez.
Suarez.
That one.
He is
Playboy.
the news anchor? Newscaster. So news anchor.
Yeah. What's her name? Team Blast. Ashley York, a British model, appeared on the cover of Team Blast wearing a fur shawl 3 months ago. This appearance doesn't lead to any useful information, but another more recent appearance in text only mentions she's dating Flavio Suarez. In it, a Team Blast reporter asks how they met. I was in Rio for Carnival, and he was one of the parade floats. I had no idea who he was, but I liked what I saw, and told my people to invite him to the party I was going to. I felt pretty stupid once I realized we were going to his party. Well, his mother's party. She runs a media empire down there called Transmissão Paulo. A massive media group owned and run by a mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. It seems Sonia Alves is a common name in Brazil, so she has shortened her name to Nia to stand out in the public's eye. According to a history page that's focused on her company and vague, unsearchable details, Nia received a significant inheritance in 1980 and invested it in many different manufacturing businesses in her hometown in Brazil. At the same time, she had just begun to learn the ins and outs of running a television network. How is he not falling off? She continued to work in television until in 1998, when Brazil began its period of reform. Is it linked down there?
Yeah. I've been nestling my foot in his legs.
She felt this was the perfect opportunity to launch her own media company using her investment and connections. Now her company owns television networks, magazines, newspapers, and advertising firms. After doing some translating, the page about Nia lists her as unmarried. It does not go into any other relationship history. Search for Nia online, you learn she stays out of the spotlight. She doesn't even appear at shareholder meetings. She said, Pretty sure that's her though.
So
And they split
CEO.
up. CEO.
1, 2. 2 people. We only have 2 people.
3.
3.
1, 2, 3.
We need to figure out
So,
if she's right. 'Cause I
Definitely
don't
not.
think she is. Okay, who else was he having
Because
affairs with?
Qinyu Lang was definitely a CEO, right?
Yeah. Of 2 different companies.
Lang Qinyu. Sorry. Yeah. Says that it's from 1992 when she took over. 45 at the time.
What about her sister? Maybe this
This is
is
the only mention of the sister.
okay, maybe this is just a red herring.
Yeah, it tells us about Hongyu and Hongbo. Read this? I don't think so. Searching for Lang Qinyu separately brings up much fewer results than Lang Tai. Lang Qinyu was even featured in Business Watch in 1992. She missed out on Watchman of the Year, but did have a pretty sizable article that mentions some of her history. She was born in 1947, the first of 2 children. Her mother was already in her 30s when she had her, and had trouble conceiving a second time until 3 years later. This was Qinyu's sister. It became clear that her father was not going to have a son to pass the family business down to. This is how Qinyu became involved. Her father stayed the president of Lang Tai for a very long time, and his daughters grew up. He began training. We're missing a word. And his daughters grew up. He began training them in hopes one of them would have a son who could take over. One helped him in China, Qinyu, and the other in the USA. Oh. We mixed up the names.
Look at the piece of Asia. One piece of Asia. Lang Xingyao.
Yao. That's a different name. Jerry is
Linda.
Han Junwei and Linda is Lang Jingyao. So that's why you thought Han Junwei here. So it doesn't go anywhere?
Oh.
It could be in here somewhere though.
No.
I think that's why we got pictures.
That somehow we went from very much American to very much Chinese.
I don't know.
Done the
How about Patricia?
Patricia's guy's husband
No.
or wife. Not husband. He's not gay.
Where is he?
There. Guy. Guy.
cold.
Nothing. Scroll out. What is going on?
Oops. This, where Sam speculates Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth.
Yeah, we know.
Who's Beth? Right, we thought it was Bess. Yeah, Bess Williams.
Okay, so
Beth
Beth
Knox.
Knox.
Was the what, secretary? Donna Fellows and Beth Knox are no longer employed. Beth Knox 50-year work anniversary.
Yeah, so this is secretary. Where's her picture?
Not old Chinese lady.
Yeah, not her.
In periodicals. Hey, Vortex. Evening. Oh, hold on. Need the streak. Alright. What were you looking for? New Edison. Hey, Be Well, welcome back. Dirty Devil. That was the devil name.
Arte. No. Robbie.
Rentas. Hey, 50% of the way to the next emote. Slot. Search that.
Wondering.
Doesn't seem related to your search in any way.
And it's the one that went, on second look, it still doesn't look related. No.
Maybe. Yeah.
Not just a Williams look.
Is this the song, Momo? I forgot when I asked when you were talking about it, which song it was. And Scribble's streaming late. I guess we started really early.
has to be something following Beth.
Be able to find out more information about
Yes, her
her
children.
daughter. Yeah. We search for Beth.
Knox? Beth.
Search periodicals.
This still has one.
Douglas Rosenberg. Edward Morrison was hired and then fired a year later. Let's look him up.
Oh, wait, wasn't there a web?
I love how we got that one guy's picture with a guess.
What's new?
Oh, come on, no hands. We take a drink. It needs to be a big mug.
Well, we have a million mugs. No, I'm the only one.
I'm referencing a speedrunning thing. What's up, Mewtwo?
Douglas?
See how annoying that is? Try to highlight the same thing a second time.
Terry Connor. That one.
And it
No.
did say, like, just searching every name in here is not going to lead to... James Bond. James Bond. Do you have any other highlights left? Family Man. Oh, that's Family Man. Not useful. It's this book.
I know.
Book.
I was wondering.
Deleted.
That one as well.
Business partner in Australia's daughter was named Robin. Could be this one.
Robin.
Robin Martin.
A baby's so cute. I think he's mad at me.
You look this up?
Yes. One of her many books.
Oh. Did we look it up in the books?
Yes.
Did? Why didn't it give me results?
spell her name wrong?
Alright, I'm gonna ask the duck.
Okay.
Root Tree Brazil broke ground around Christmas, and you have a photo of Guy looking amorous at that time. Yeah. This one. Okay, I guess it's gonna lead us to whatever this girl's name is. According to the article for Transmissão Paulo, Sonia Alves is divorced. Also know she has one child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
thanks, duck. That's why we filled her out in the freaking tree. What do you want? She's a media mogul. How are we supposed to know that? Whatever. That was a useless thing. Give me another one. You should look into the owners of Piece of Asia. We did that.
We
Han Junwei and
I looked up Han Junwei, like back to here, so look up
Lang Qingyao. Same thing. Lang Qingyao is mentioned very briefly in an article about in vitro fertilization from 1979. The article details a new, at the time, medical industry. In vitro fertilization was brand new, barely a year old. After the first successful IVF birth in 1978, it seemed the industry began to grow, and a featured article about different companies all over the world and the cost that they could charge for their services was in Business Watch. This included a few cases of high-profile customers willing to pay a premium. Apparently at the time, the CEO of Langtai was Lang Hongbo, and his young daughter Lang Qingyao and her husband could not have children. So in an attempt to create a suitable heir, he paid Qi genes to have their child implanted in his older daughter, who was unmarried. Cost for this was apparently $100,000.
So it is her? I don't understand.
So his younger daughter and her husband could not have children. Had the child implanted in the older daughter.
So does that mean
In you. This one?
One with that. But I thought we had her at the
Well, this wasn't a child by a guy. It was an in vitro.
No, so they put the egg in her and
Key Genes, pronounced Key Genes, sorry, Key Genes, was a medical company with operations in both the US and China. They made international noons in 1994 after a whistleblower came forward. Apparently their services were in some cases falsified. While they did often perform IVF, the whistleblower provided that a few of their customers paid for a very different service, an alibi. The company would claim they performed IVF on someone who was already pregnant to create a cover story for high-profile families who did not want to give up a child but did not want the shame of an unmarried mother. The whistleblower claimed that they had helped do this at least 6 times but only provided proof of one case, the daughter of an American politician who was unrelated to your investigation. Eugene's shut down soon after, and both founders have reportedly fled to Lebanon, where there's no extradition to either China or the US. Yeah. So, it is Guy's kid, and it was a cover-up. Oh, look at that. That's 4. I can't believe we had this in there and then just took it out. If we're gonna go for another hour, I need another soda.
Okay.
Edson
Suarez,
Suarez, that picture. That's it.
Fresh.
Hold on.
They're
Hold
both
on.
here!
So,
Sam and Clark!
the work you're doing here is fantastic.
Okay, don't click it. I need a soda.
It's Sam and Clark! They've made up! Ah!
It's so much cooler outside of this room.
Is your vent blocked?
No, it just sucks.
You need to install one in the ceiling.
That's not exactly easy to do.
So fantastic, in fact.
There goes Clark. Always the bad cop. Go ahead.
Well, our law firm, Ruby Legal Enterprises, is
Having trouble
keeping
keeping up.
They're actually begging us to stop submitting new root trees. They said it's getting difficult to verify your progress.
Well, consider that a good thing. I told Clark you'd get results.
She says that like I didn't believe her. Regardless, the bad news is it's gonna take 5 potential
Oh no.
before anyone locks in from now on.
It goes from 3 to 4 to 5.
Good work.
And basically, all 5 are that side of the tree, which is.
If we had been counting them, we would have known that it would change.
Why?
What? You want a taffy?
Taffy.
So what's the name of the child of Lang Chin Yu? You want more than one?
I think. Snell thinks he wants one.
Oh. GG Bewell, 89. That's not very high. You guys should try harder.
I'm not trying very hard. Hang on there. She said she had a nephew.
Her nephew, who's currently her second in command, is expected to take over when she retires.
Okay, what's the name? The Han family.
Piece of Asia has its headquarters in Butler County. Oh, what a coincidence. It is listed occasionally under many different contexts, as many local businesses are. Nothing seems important except for the first mention from 1981. The newspaper chronicles that Jerry Han has traveled from China to open the company, which is connected to a much larger company overseas called Lang Tai, that has connections to Roottreemania. It's not a factory, it simply imports and distributes Lang Tai's products. It also mentions that Jerry is the son-in-law of the current leader of Lang Tai. Someone close to the family who learned English in school, he naturally raised through the ranks as they expanded their reach to America. Although Jerry's wife Linda doesn't speak English at all, she's currently taking classes and he is teaching her at home. He says she's always been a fast learner and he hopes she'll be at least conversational by the time she gives birth. Well, that's not helpful. You could try searching Linda Han. No.
her up in a different context. I research.
Jerry, Linda, and Mark.
Mark.
Appeared recently on a website. What?
Have fun. I have to go run.
Called Focus on Philanthropy under the headline Hanging with the Hans. The Hans were chosen because they donate significantly to causes that further Chinese American culture. Jerry and Linda were both born in China and fell in love during college. Linda's father led a large company. This article never names it. After it expanded to the US, Linda's father approved their marriage, so long as Jerry took over the US portion of the business. Linda jokes that the entire situation is like something out of an Alanis Morissette song with how ironic it all ended up. I was absolutely terrified to move to the United States, but my big sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this Butch Cassidy poster on her wall and was obsessed with Robert Redford. But somehow, Jerry and I were the ones sent here, and now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. When we had Mark, we never even considered giving him a traditional name. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China and has thrived there. She doesn't even like visiting the US anymore. Our kids are complete opposite, though. Our kids? Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he was old enough. He's actually in business school in China now, working with my sister. Our niece, who grew up there, was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get here. She started calling herself Lucy Lang in high school and flew out here as soon as she graduated. The name change apparently drove my sister absolutely loco. Huh. Okay, so Mark's in business school. He's gonna be a businessman. I don't know. College student. Oh, right. It says school. We don't have a picture. Let's look up Focus on Philanthropy. Hanging with the Hans. We look for his name. Dang. Wow. What? We only have one evidence thing left.
Huh. I wonder what the duck will point us to if we ask.
And we've done all this. Hey, duck. I'm so glad they have this. Jerry and Linda Hahn mentioned a niece. Yes. Who grew up in China. Is this not Mark? This isn't Mark.
Mark is not a niece.
Oh, because Mark was technically her kid, but... Oh.
Actual IVF? College student Lucy Lang.
Yeah. I guess she had 2 kids from Guy? Oh, we could just search for her. Lucy Lang is not exactly a common name, but it's not the most uncommon you've come across either. This is like literally the last name that we read. and skip stuff, but you confirmed map. Consist for map check. There are a few that come up with any searchable details, so it might be possible to narrow down your possibilities. A Lucy Lang, what?
He's very...
Why? Lucy Lang is mentioned on a robotics website as part of Team Talon-Claw. Team Talon-Claw are one of only 2 teams from the US participating on a new robot-based show in the UK. Another Lucy Lang is part of a small women's a cappella group in Los Angeles called the Gin and Tonics. A third Lucy Lang works in New York for a business called Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited.
I would think it's the third.
Talon-Claw, yeah, it does. Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited is a company located in New York City. Lucy Lang is a lead synergy engineer who is listed as being ranked one of the top facilitators in the world by Business Watch magazine. As far as you can tell, CSSU is a company that other companies hire as consultants to increase productivity. It's unclear the exact services they provide. The site is light on details. There are a few high-profile companies listed on their site as former clients. You recognize their names, but none are related to your current investigation. We look her in the periodicals. The Herald, Team Talon-Claw. The Herald has a story about their school's robotics team, Team Talon-Claw. So it was Talon-Claw, not the other one. It lists 3 student members and talks a bit about each of their history, including their interest in robotics. The only one that catches your attention is Lucy Lang. She grew up in China as Min Lang, but
I'm
came
torturing your dog, mother.
to the US specifically to attend university.
Min?
Min. She says she grew up around factory-scale machines that assembled products that would be shipped all over the world, and the moving parts and automation fascinated her. However, as she has progressed through her major, she has become obsessed with smaller, more powerful hydraulics, such as the mechanism that closes Talon-Claw's weapon. In addition to robotics, she loves linguistics. One of her hobbies since coming to the States has been collecting accents. In her spare time, she practices not only removing any trace of her native inflection, but also quickly switching between multiple different regional accents. She feels her personal best is the Southern Belle, but her favorite is the Valley Girl due to its use in popular culture. The article has a picture. Photo of Lucy Lang, aka Lang Min, with Talon-Claw. Wow, look at that. That's a claw?
Does she look like her mother or her father?
I don't know.
She looks like both of them. How does she look like both of them?
I don't know. It's like her mother.
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 Okay, now we have to do...
Hey, look, we're done with Guy Hudson. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he was the easy one. Now we have this mess.
Mm-hmm.
We still only have the one with...
Yep.
Okay, consult the duck!
Well, hold on.
We've tried all of these routes. Well, okay, the duck might send us after, Mark's children first.
Yeah. We guessed on these names, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we know that one of them is Mary, and we guessed on Beth. How already did that.
Yeah, you have to cycle through. I already have that.
But I haven't spider searched for Team Talon-Claw yet. The robot, also named Talon-Claw, has been selected for appearance on the 2nd season of a British television show focused on robot fighting. A small blurb mentions that robot fighting leagues have existed for a few years, but there have been recent moves to televise it. Talon-Claw was one of the 2 teams selected from the US. Robotics Club has a text-only site you can find linked from the university student section. The site seems like it's used mostly to announce the schedule to its members. Beth is a cool name. The club is supposed to meet every Tuesday and Thursday, but the last 8 dates have all been canceled because a few members of the team are currently in the UK filming. Another date from a few weeks back was canceled for an interview with the school's newspaper. Bottom, the traveling members of Talon-Claw are listed as team captain Jaya Patel, supporting members Lucy Lang and Kurt Hauser.
You, Kurt Hauser.
Why? Like, what is this leading us to?
Could do the other name.
She's absolutely this.
Yeah, but maybe it relates to the Clementine.
I guess. Aya Patel. This is someone from India. Okay, neither of those led anywhere.
Okay.
What did you want, Duck? Okay, fine. You just wanted us to have searched Team Talon Claw. Billy Sims incident in periodicals.
Dirty. No, do the poor intro.
Portland Telegraph had an article slightly longer than most about the Billy Sims incident, mostly because the assault of Crocodile Clementine had appeared in the paper before. Because of the somewhat comedic sensationalism of the events in question, and because their readers were already familiar with Mark Clementine, they filed it under a special banner called Croc Watch. It mentions that our good friend Croc Clementine was actually in attendance at the high school graduation because his daughter was walking the stage. He was apparently not allowed to attend. His ex-wife had a restraining order filed on behalf of her daughter, but did so anyway. Hold on.
Mary?
Yeah. It was unknown to the school staff, including Sims at the time, who he was. But a security guard recognized him, and that's when the trouble started. Clementine was approaching the side of the stage to try to avoid the guard, and the exchange between him and Sims took place. The article finishes by facetiously asking, "What will Croc get up to next? Stay tuned for more Croc Watch." Fortunately for your investigation, as far as you can tell, there were no more instances of Croc Watch. That didn't really help. We read this. Carla? Did we know that? Oh, that's Sims, not Mark's. What did the duck say? Name of one of Crocodile Clementine's children.
I love that even the duck is referring to him as crocodile and not. Why are my genetics?
Because his daughter Mary was graduating that night. We did it. But was her name actually Mary Webb? You know.
Because they were still together when they were born and they didn't really change their name. They're still on her.
Okay. Good point. I think that means we have them backwards.
No, I think the duck is just being.
Spider search for Mary Webb. So it wasn't to change the name here, it was to figure out the name and then search it. Mary Webb in San Diego has a website called Web on the Web. Apparently, it's a personal travel diary that also doubles as an advertisement for her travel agency. There are descriptions of Mary's services, including booking flights and cruises.
Ow!
What?
Jumped right onto my.
Oh. Almost all of them involve extremely niche audiences. It seems Mary is the #1 agent when it comes to booking spiritual vacations aboard ghost ships and in specific hotel rooms that are said to be haunted. He also has a dedicated section for more traditional modern cruises that cater to specific groups such as fans of boy bands. In the diary entries, she talks about the trips she's personally taken and uses that as an opportunity to feature descriptions of amenities and excursions that the ships offer, even when you're on them to see a specific band or ghost. There's also pictures of ships, hotels, landmarks in places she's visited, as well as a picture of Mary herself with a ship in the background. One of her diary entries actually mentions the day that the photos were taken. She was allowed onto the ship on a port day in San Diego with a professional photographer she knows. The photo of Mary has been added to her evidence.
Not a college student.
Travel agent. Mary Webb from her website Web on the Web paranormal travel agency. She's apparently found a niche booking vacations for lovers of the strange and unknown. This is a photograph of Mary in front of an alleged ghost ship from the 1800s. It was lost at sea and turned up without any crew several years later. It must have been crewed by monkeys. Nobody knows exactly what happened, but fans love to tour it and come up with their own paranormal theories. A company called Corporate Composition Photography. There's a photography studio that was listed on a few different sites for businesses in San Diego. Seems to have been possible to hire them to take professional quality photos for businesses of all sorts. As far as you can tell, it appears to no longer exist. The company is also mentioned on a photography site with some IRC chat logs. It seems like the site is the personal page of a member of an IRC photography channel. They have archives of logs they've been saving since 1993. One of them was from 1996 when Val, the former head photographer from Corporate Composition Photography, did a Q&A with their users about taking pictures for promotional materials and print ads. Most of the questions and answers are pretty technical. They not only seem irrelevant, but generally go over your head. One of the questions, however, mentions that Val was on the cover of Telephoto and asks about Iraq. The question was quickly shut down by the person running the Q&A, who says Val does not wish to answer any questions from his photojournalism days. Well, Val is a guy. Nor does he wish to talk about LBP. What the heck is LBP? Lebanese pound, lower back pain, lead-based paint, low blood pressure, Louisiana Board of Pharmacy, Long Beach, Pennsylvania, Lynch Building Plastics, Luxury Bridal Photography, Lexington Business Payroll, Lincoln Baby Photography, Laura's Bra and Panties, Logline Books and Publishing, Little Big Planet. Luxury Bridal Photography is a photography business, which is a good start. Fortunately, it seems like it's located in Ireland, and its owner is named Nicholas. He goes by Nick Luxury. You doubt that that's his real name. Lincoln Baby Photography seems like a solid lead, as it mentions a Val, an award-winning photographer, on the page. It's a business in Beacon, New York, and on the site it has pictures of a baby and a camera captioned with Cam Lincoln reaching for his namesake. I guess he takes after his father, Val. At the bottom of the website, it says copyright 1988 to 1999. Cam Lincoln reaching for his namesake. Camera. It's literally named Cam after a camera. Link breaks bots. Perfect. Yeah, because this is Cam. What was the last name? Thank you. Baby. Val. Lincoln. Mary. What was Mary's occupation? What was Mary's occupation? Travel agency. If I had looked at the picture, I would have remembered. Okay, so this is maybe Beth. Yes. Student college is not good. Okay, we have 3. Should we just try Beth? Beth Webb. Beth Clementine. Only a guess anyway. Did I get what? Okay, I don't know what you're asking, and it might help if you actually looked at the screen.
It's not my fault I'm dying.
Get up! Sit in the chair. Don't let your dog sit on you.
I get up.
Web on the web? No.
There, another thing. Go down besides the.
We could search web on the web. Oh, this is the same thing. Then we looked at the picture and we got corporate composition photography. Web on the web paranormal travel agency.
Wait, was there another thing in here? There was like a periodical.
RC chat logs. RC photography channel. LBP. Telephoto. Telephoto is a photography magazine. Bam. Added. What are we looking for?
Look that up before you.
Look up what?
The one he just had.
I looked it up. There was nothing.
Yes, but now we have a new periodical.
True.
Do the.
Al Lincoln was featured in Telephoto. The cover, which featured one of his photos as well as portions of the article, have been added to your evidence. Telephoto is a photography magazine. This 1992 issue focuses on the photos of Val Lincoln, photographer who went overseas during Desert Storm. He won the Sepia Award for photojournalism, specifically for the photo on the cover. Val got his start in high school when he took a photography class because, in his own words, he couldn't decide what else to do and thought it would be the best career in the world to shoot for Playboy. But he quickly found he had a knack for it and began to skip lunch and his free periods to spend more time in the darkroom. After graduating, he tried to pivot to landscape photography but didn't have any passion for it. I work much better when I'm trying to tell the story of a person or an object. He got lucky when a photographer mentor of his was going overseas to cover the war, decided to take a chance on him. Most people wouldn't call it lucky to go to an active war zone for no pay, but he bought my plane tickets, all my meals, and even pulled some strings so we could rush my passport. For someone that had never had a real job or even left California, it was a heck of a break. Val was only 19 at the time and shot the photo that won him an award the third night he was there. The photo depicts Lisa Clementine, who lost an arm. Oh, dang. Didn't notice. In Operation Desert Saber. According to the article, women were not subject to direct combat and Lisa was in a vehicle at the time. The vehicle had to pull over suddenly when the road ahead was partially destroyed and she and a fellow soldier were severely injured by a landmine. Val says, I ran into Lisa just after her surgery and took this picture. Then, until she shipped out, I kept finding excuses to go back and take more pictures of her. I guess it was fate because that's the photo that won me an award, got me into your magazine, and also led to my engagement. Just earlier this week, she agreed to become Mrs. Lincoln.
Wait, so Mary is the younger one. Is the older.
Yes. Okay. So this is Lisa, who is soldier, military, and looks like this.
Looks half dead.
And this is Mary, who is a travel agent and looks like that. Yeah.
The baby is a baby?
Baby is a baby. He works for Baby Incorporated.
He works under Boss Baby. Now we have to find another one before we.
Why does it still have a 2 on it?
Because we have. ask the duck?
I thought that we just decided that it once you fill in something, it does go away.
Okay, ask the duck.
Knew Lisa Clementine's occupation, you could probably place her on the tree.
She got house mom instead of military?
Oh, she's not a
retired.
military anymore.
Yeah, she's retired military, so she...
Got to. Operation Desert Saber. The name for a land offensive the U.S. military performed against the Iraqi army. It was part of the larger Operation Desert Storm, also known as the Gulf War.
I wish we knew what his photography... Lincoln?
Right.
So web?
Oh, Lincoln. Is according to a military website, you find an amputee who lost a limb in Desert Storm. She runs a support group for fellow veterans in Beacon, New York. Makes another appearance listed as the professor at West Point Military College. She teaches classes that contribute to their environmental engineering major. Short biography on the staff page mentions that she had a passion for the military from a very young age due to erroneously believing a family member was an Air Force pilot. When she later learned that to be untrue, her passion remained and she joined ROTC in high school. From there, she enlisted. After returning from Desert Storm, she earned her degree and relocated West Point to teach a few years ago. That would not tell us where to place her in the tree. The duck is on crack.
Well,
I forgot there's a secret other affair or something.
Yeah, we were saying it's Mr. Bias and Bess making Miracle. We're very convinced of that fact.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Yeah, but we need something here, or here, or here, or here.
That's duck. Well, look at the evidence first. Make sure we got the two.
We didn't.
Look up our.
What? That's Reserve Officer Training Corps.
No, banyak. Tayo. West Point?
That's a military college.
That's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, who knows what they want from that?
Miami Sunday merged into the Miami Mercury Sunday, but that was short-lived. You want information on events from before the merger. I remember looking this up. I don't remember what it was. There's no records you can find online or in your periodical search. No, I'm searching it anyway.
Better search still.
Newspaper that lasted only a year, from 49 to 50. A small website about quirky printing history facts that mentions that the Miami Mercury Sunday was the outcome of merging two smaller failing newspapers. Jefferson, Texas. Real place with a real newspaper called the Jefferson Jimplecute.
book say?
But that was
From
short-lived. You
before
want
the
information on events from before the merger.
So
Maybe something about the hyphenated
Can you
name
look
could
at
give you a
them?
clue. The Miami Mercury? Miami Mercury is a now defunct, discovered every periodical, spoilers, the now defunct newspaper that merged with the Miami Sunday. The resulting newspaper, the Miami Mercury Sunday, went out of business. And at some point, it was at least partially archived. But what do I search for in it? I don't know why.
everything? Bess? Search for Bess.
Bess Williams?
Yeah.
Look at that. Miami Mercury had an article about the Bess Williams section in the Bocadoro Library when it was being built in 1928. It mentions that Bess's young son, now an orphan, was in attendance during the dedication. Bess's young son.
So male.
Not Beth.
Not Beth.
Not a secretary. Maybe.
There can be secretaries.
Probably not. Not in 1949 or 1928. It also had a later mention from 1949, the last year the paper existed, about a bidding war for a planned expansion of the library in 1950. The bidding was won by Wildcat Construction. It included a new statue fountain and a second room that would double its shelf count. Wildcat Construction is listed in some historical records as having worked on many buildings in the Miami, Florida area. It seems to have ceased operations in the 60s.
Yeah.
Frank Wildcat Williams. Wildcat Construction was mentioned once in an article you've already seen about the expansion of the Bocadoro Library. It was also mentioned earlier in 1947 under the headline Constructing a Better World. Frank Wildcat Williams left Florida in 1941 a construction worker and returned a hero. He won the Navy Cross for his bravery and sacrifice, having carried a fellow soldier to safety under heavy Nazi fire. Now he and his wife Ophelia are carrying his fellow soldiers through tough times at home. Wildcat Construction is Frank's company, focused on creating opportunities for soldiers finding difficulty getting back to normal. Ophelia has handled outreach to the wives of local veterans who are often able to provide insight into their husbands' needs and conditions. She has, through such outreach, found 13 veterans of the war to serve as Frank's employees. The community support has been unendingly and overwhelmingly positive. It has gotten to the point where if Frank bids on a project, other local companies have decided to step back and let his soldiers handle it. This has become a bit of a sore spot for local politicians and business owners, as the bids are often not as low as they expected. The problem for them is that essentially Frank has a selective monopoly, but any attempt to circumvent it has caused an uproar and accusations of being un-American. It's uncertain what will become of Wildcat Construction, but at least for now, we're rooting for them.
So, Frank Williams married to an Ophelia, who's in a construction.
Where does Beth Knox fit in?
I don't know. Nowhere. Or just imagine. Yeah. It's
Construction.
That's the headline of the article.
Search for Ophelia.
Williams?
Nope. He did it. No, he grabbed it.
Ah. So how is he gonna get them home?
By flying.
Sailing? Okay, where do we go from here, though? Getting distracted.
What? Purple needs my help.
Yeah.
What?
It's not like Dad has two
That's
streams
He's
up. And
he's
then
abandoning
another on
it
a different
because of
tab.
a valid reason. Because there is a thing that can happen when you grab something where, like, if you've grabbed it off center or if it's like tilted, then when you try to burn, it like doesn't fly
Brings
straight.
you.
And that's something that's incredibly hard to fix, but I know how. Like I had to Google it basically. Anyway, but that wasn't the issue. So. I thought we would get like a picture.
What about our vested evidence?
Nothing. Still 2 on this. Doesn't make sense. Val Lincoln's War on War.
You spooked me. I know you were just having, but you spooked me.
How come? Let's search this again. Same thing.
Yes. Yes.
Huh. If we just had a picture, then we could. That'd be 5, and we could quit. I don't know. I did that. Not helpful.
Spider searched him?
No, we didn't spider search him. Frank Wildcat Williams is listed on a few different military history websites. He was awarded a Navy Cross Medal in World War II, and that story goes that even after being struck in the arm with a bullet, he managed to carry a fellow soldier through enemy territory on his shoulders for over 2 miles. He died in 1996, age 74, in a retirement community in Sweetwater, Florida. An obituary on the website of a local news channel that was written by his surviving family also sheds light on some of his personal life. He grew up an orphan because his family died in a hurricane when he was very young. He could barely remember his mother and had no memory of his father. After the war, he ran a construction company that mainly hired World War II veterans and did a lot of jobs in and around the greater Miami area. He was a born joker and a shining light to those veterans who needed it most. An anecdote mentions that he used to insist he married his wife Ophelia as a matter of courtesy and convenience. He wouldn't have to change her last name.
So she was born a Williams.
Oh, he was also a Williams. That sounds incredibly convenient, actually.
Yeah.
Photos attached of Frank in his youth juggling hammers in front of one of his construction sites, as he was often known to do. According to the article, he is survived by Ophelia as well as his daughters Barb and Sharon. Which one's which? Not Ruby Spratt, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, is there any other alternate info we need to lock in first? Julia Williams. Okay. I think we're...
No.
We locked anything since we filled that in?
No.
The image was found in an obituary for Frank Wildcat Williams. He was juggling hammers on a construction site.
His mother's statue
His
is in the
mom's
back.
statue, yep. Boom. I mean,
Get another story.
booyah.
Get another story.
Oh yeah, I guess we should. Well, we locked in possible infidelity 2 and 3 and got achievements for them. No story.
No story.
No story.
No story.
This is wrong.
Yeah.
Well, who dat?
Who knows?
Was Sterling a nickname for something?
No, it was quite clearly
William?
Sterling. His last name is unknown.
So then where did Clementine come from?
Which name?
Oh.
We'll have another transfer secret. Look up Sharon Williams for barbs.
Barb Williams is a motivational speaker, and she has a website that explains the services she offers. The company's address is listed as Coconut Grove, Florida.
There.
Public speaker. This is her. Oh, it is her because it's the picture. Barb Williams advertises her career as a motivational speaker online. This flyer includes 3 different testimonials from Greta Jones from WQTV 12, Vic Elmsworth from the Kickewa Falls Gazette, and Isabel Crosby, the superintendent of Benton County. Overcoming adversity with Barb Williams. Her story will surprise you, uplift you, then energize you. Greta Jones, WQTV 12. So, WQTV 12, Morning News. A lesson that anyone can take something away from. Vic Elmsworth. Kickewa Falls Gazette. An intimate evening with a truly wonderful message. Isabel Crosby, superintendent, Benton County. Book Barb for corporate retreats, church events, or even school assemblies. She can customize her message for any audience. We have things to look up there. I'm gonna fill this in. Well, maybe she goes here.
Look at her.
What
Her
website?
Company. Yes.
I'm gonna look up like this.
Oh, right.
People. Greta Jones is too common. WQTV 12. Greta Jones from WQTV 12.
Just the.
Vic Elmsworth, according to his own personal page, is apparently one of 3 brothers. All 3 of them are contributors to a newspaper called the Kickewa Falls Gazette, and he tends to focus more on the southeastern United States. All of the articles he's written are archived on his site, including the long-form version of the review for Barb Williams' motivational show from 1997. According to Victor, he has seen Barb talk more than once. On this particular occasion, Barb's talk was at a very large church, and it was clear she was an expert at matching the presentation of her concepts for any particular crowd, because she received a standing ovation. Barb started with a story... I just realized something. Barb started with a story about loss, specifically the loss of a bicyclist who had been hit by a car. No, about Schuylkill. We spoke about the death of any person as a darkness in their loved ones. A cold, empty void that begins to creep into a space where there once was light. Because the light could never return exactly how it once was, she says the only option is to nurture new sources of light to help fight back the darkness. Her conclusion was that finding the hidden messages in tragedy is the most important thing we can do. She used multiple biblical comparisons and finished by looping back around to her initial story and how she personally began to come around to this ideology. The biker who died was her son-in-law, and the Lanes Across America charity was created to fill the newfound darkness her daughter experienced. It, the charity, was the light that began to fill the void, and she was doing everything she could to help
So
nurture
Lanes
it.
Across America.
There's also this. No, Kikiwa falls anywhere in the world. Okay. Made up place. I was thinking it might be a periodical.
But we got an achievement that was you found all periodicals.
Hush. Lanes Across America, or LAA, is a charity focused on adding bike lanes to major cities. The pages and pages of news articles that mention Lanes Across America. What?
That's the name.
Have a similar summary in them. Why are you reading ahead? LAA, formerly LAM, Lanes Across Miami, was founded in 1987 after the death of Drew Smith. Drew was biking home from work when he was hit by a car. Each year since, Lanes Across America has grown, and they now have offices in over 12 major metropolitan areas, including Miami, where the charity began. Huh, that's right. The website for the charity has a picture of Drew. Partial wedding photo from the website for a charity called Lanes Across America. The rest of the wedding party is cropped out. The charity was founded after the death of Drew Smith, featured in the photo. Andrew Smith. Won't work.
We know we just need Sharon Williams. Stop Sharon Williams.
Searching for Lanes Across Miami does narrow down the pages and pages of articles you found earlier to only those with a more in-depth history about the charity. You find some additional information. LAM was formed in 1987, became LAA in 1994. Founded by Sharon Smith after the death of her husband. Sharon and some other board members... Hey, husband, we were right. Wait, Sharon Smith.
Yeah.
Smith, yes.
Married
good.
name.
Okay. She's a charity founder. Sharon and some other board members stepped down in 1992, and the current leadership took over. Oh, well, what is she after she stepped down? She's a former board member.
Still probably a board member.
One of the oldest articles has a full uncropped version of the same wedding photo from the LAA website. It seems that after Sharon left LAM, they began to crop her and the rest of her wedding party out of the photo to focus solely on Drew, who's the face of the charity. The full photo has been added to your inventory. Uncropped wedding photo from an old article about Lanes Across Miami. Who are they?
Probably,
Brother?
yeah, brother we don't care about, and,
Sister?
Barb.
What do you mean we don't care about? We have a picture of him.
Yeah.
Maybe she married his brother.
Oh,
Bet. So these kids are all
half, not half,
three
more
quarters
half.
siblings.
Yeah. Okay, we might finish.
But who's the other girl?
Barb!
Barb. Oh, it's just another picture of Barb. Right.
Asking who's Barb?
I guess she is older.
Yeah.
Okay, but who's the brother?
Sharon Smith? In... Look up LA. Lanes Across America.
Ugh.
Up the county?
Isabel Crosby, according to Fire and Barb Williams' website, is the superintendent of Benton County. There's a Benton County in 9 different states in the U.S. There hasn't been a Benton County in Florida since 1850. Not sure which one Isabel Crosby comes from. Searching for Isabel Crosby doesn't lead to anything that seems to fit what you're looking for.
Okay, look up the... Look up the East.
Unfortunately, WQTV-12 has no online web presence whatsoever. You find it listed on a giant list of television call signs next to the city Springfield under the heading Effingham County. You may need to do a deeper dive on a specific city and state to see if any locals have discussed the news in that area.
Springfield.
Illinois?
You have to spell out Illinois.
There are, for whatever reason, over 30 Springfields in the United States. You'll probably need to list the state you're looking for.
Florida? Georgia?
If you find your search of television in and around Springfield, Georgia, you come across a website that lists different channels available there. The list seems to only feature broadcasts with female news anchors. The person who runs the website has ranked each using 3 categories. None are relevant to journalism. One of the entries is Channel 12. The news anchor is listed as Greta Flores. The news anchor who apparently used to go by Greta Jones before her divorce. Compared to the ordeal you've gone through to simply figure out her current name, it's way easier than you expect to find that she has a website of her accomplishments. She was apparently the MC for an all-female speaking tour in 1977. The tour was called Storytellers of Sisterhood, The Mothers and Daughters of Earth. You search for it, and it seems some of the stories were compiled into a book simply titled 25 Stories of Sisterhood by Ayala Hale. Published in 1986. This is an anthology of stories told on a few different Storytellers of Sisterhood tours. It contains direct transcripts of the most well-received stories told on stage. Ayala Hale is the editor, not the sole author. One of the stories by Barb Williams has been added to your evidence. We still try Missouri?
Nothing.
Sorry.
Okay, go to evidence.
Barb Williams, Beauty and the Brat. Barb Williams had the transcript of a story she told on stage published in a book. The first part of her story focuses on 2 16-year-old girls. My sister Sherry was a brat, always sulking, often disobedient, never on time. She borrowed things without asking and even ran away from home, only to sneak back the next day like nothing had changed. My daughter Sharon, on the other hand...
They're the same person, woman.
Is this Frozen? Where was I? My daughter Sharon, on the other hand, was a beautiful person. She had excellent marks in school, was intensely artistic and creative, and even volunteered in an animal rescue. Continues to tell stories of the 2 girls until she shifts the narrative. What was the difference between Sherry the brat and Sharon the beauty? Is it nature, nurture? Is this the same girl?
Yes.
A better education, different opportunities? The answer is nothing. There's no difference because my sister and my daughter are the same girl. Barb reveals that her daughter was the result of an unexpected pregnancy when she was only 15. I met a boy at a county fair. Unlike us, he lived in the nice part of town. He went to a good school. To a teenage girl, it felt like a fairy tale. There were boxes all over his house. He was moving in 3 days. Those 3 days were heaven to me. The final night, he surprised me. He told me he could actually see me again soon. He planned to return to visit his grandparents. I thought I was giving him a reason to keep his promise. I never saw him again, and when I finally got desperate enough to ask around, a friend of a friend told me he hadn't even given me his real last name. Barb also talks about when she found out she was pregnant. I was convinced my life was over, but my parents, they took charge. I had to live at home and work a part-time job, but they removed the burden of motherhood. I managed to scrape out a degree in English, and as far as my daughter was concerned, I was her much older sister. Barb uses the story to come to a conclusion. When I was younger, I thought my sister was the brat, and I wasn't wrong, but she ran away from home to work at that animal shelter. She borrowed my clothes for presentations at school, and her creativity allowed her to open up Sherry's hair. It took me far too long to realize the beauty was always there too. In fact, the brat and the beauty exist in all of us. It was my inner brat that kept me blind to the truth, and I'd like to say it's the beauty in me that's finally able to see what I was missing. I implore you to call upon the beauties in yourselves whenever the brat tries to take hold.
So Sherry's hair.
There's a Sherry's Hair in Orlando. The owner of the business is listed as Sherry Yatersmisky. Sherry has a large van and on weekends can bring the style of Brittany, Christina, or even the Rachel to your door. The About Sherry section is very, very long and presented as one paragraph with multiple run-on sentences and no pictures. You get the sense that if she were to do your hair, she'd be doing a lot of talking. It mentions that her husband Pete was her late husband's college roommate. She and he never spent any significant time together until she became a widow, and they built a charity together. They left the charity behind because it was growing beyond their ability to run it. What?
So it's not brother.
College roommate, yeah. Sure. She and he never spent any... Did I read this?
Oh,
Cherry
no.
behind because it was going beyond their ability to run it. She also brags about her kids, Tony, Mark, and Cricket.
Oldest
Her oldest, Tony, seems to get the short end of the stick.
Tony. Anthony.
Anthony.
And okay, I was reading Caesar today, okay?
Not Anthony.
I was reading Caesar today, okay?
Tony, Mark, and Cricket. Cricket? Really?
Okay, Peter's weird. And it's his actual...
What? Her oldest, Tony, seems to get the short end of the stick. His two listed accomplishments are that he's the oldest and he's a straight-A student. Mark, on the other hand, has multiple baseball accomplishments listed. Apparently, his Little League team is nationally recognized. Cricket York.
I don't think his name is Mark. I think it's Marcus. He's the C. So the K.
Oh. Or Mark with a C.
Or Mark with a C.
Cricket York is near the end and has an entire section dedicated to her.
Cricket is a girl who
You
would
named a
name their
daughter
daughter Cricket.
Cricket?
Cricket. Cricket.
She's an actress on a local television show called Library. And the reason Sherry relocated from Miami to Orlando. Sherry, in addition to being hireable to come do your due, is a stylist for the show. I guess if it's a nickname and not an actual name. The passage also mentions that her agent... What?
Recommend they change her last name to York since it was easier to... So the long name that I thought was just... Yeah.
What's his name? Yatersmisky. Yasterzemski.
Oh, that's her name as well.
Yasterzemski. It gets easier the more times you say it.
You know what? She's a hairdresser. She's a hairdresser. Stop wandering off. She's a hairdresser.
So wait, what was the story? She was Barbara's kid, but raised like a sister. Yeah. Adopted by Frank and Delia.
Yeah. He's baseball. Or athlete.
That Little League. That's not pro. Sports. Student.
No, if her daughter is an actress, he has to be like at least a college student.
Actor.
I would put him as professional.
He's a straight A student. Mark has multiple baseball
Tony
accomplishments.
is the straight A student.
Right.
I think Tony is probably a college.
His Little League team that he coaches, probably.
Yeah.
Is
so
nationally
coach.
recognized.
So pro athlete.
Is their last name Smith?
Assume so.
First section describes how she got the part, but it seems unimportant.
So look up library.
Library. The children's show filmed at a studio in Orlando, Florida. It has been on the air since 1991. Oh, we're watching Rec everywhere. Guy's still going. It has been on the air since 91. In the show, multiple adults and children interact with different animal puppets in a small town called Library. Unlike some other popular shows involving non-human performers, this one isn't funded by the public, not made by PBS. Instead, it's paid for by donations from viewers like you, businesses related to education. This includes textbook manufacturers like Corithmetic, tutoring companies such as EduC882U, Educate2U, and a few well-known publishers of picture books. From what you can find, it's syndicated in a few markets across the southern United States and in New Hampshire for some reason. Like most other children's entertainment, many of those that grew up with it tend to have fond memories. That works in your favor
He is a child.
because the show has been documented by a few fan sites. There's even a library web ring, although it only has 3 entries. Look through the sites in the ring and find that Cricket York joined the cast in 97 at the age of 5. Oh.
So they are children.
And is still listed as a current cast member. A picture of Cricket from one of her first episodes has been added to your evidence. What, he doesn't get added to the tree?
No.
This is a promotional shot of Cricket York and the puppet Poof Tail from 97 when she was on a show called Library. According to the site, you found it on the theme of the episode tackled why some people needed glasses.
Okay, on the board.
I mean,
She's an actor. It just means
she's
Mark
a
is an
student.
actual student.
maybe she's also a student.
I would think
Tony?
Tony is also a student. So look up Mark Smith or Little League Baseball. Same.
Okay.
So
Mark?
Little League.
Little League. Baseball.
Little League Baseball.
Why didn't you say that? Still has 5.
Only we ask the duck. You have 2 pictures to find, and then whatever's under the envelope.
Did we do that?
Arithmetic.
Right, we didn't do that. Arithmetic is a math textbook publishing company.
Just scan it.
Right.
I don't want to listen to you, and I want to finish this before we go to bed.
Don't see anything relevant.
Wait.
Educate2U is a tutoring service. Mom wants to listen. They have a deal with Library and feature some of the actors from the show in pictures on their website. According to the site, they actually provide tutoring for all of the actors and actresses on the show to accommodate their shooting schedules. Included is Cricket York, who is seen in a photo labeled Cricket and her brothers. Hey. Thank you. Ready to learn from one of our talented tutors. You don't find much else about Educate to You, except that there seems to be a small subsection of library fans who are deeply unsettled by the company's logo, which would appear after the credits on each episode. One writes, I was terrified of the little girl in the Educate to You logo. It looked like some kind of demon doll, and I'd race to the TV every day to switch the dial before her creepy laugh came on. Wow. That sounds like chickens. Thanks. Oh no. Sky's not done, or Sky's no longer still going. This is an advertisement for a private tutor company called Educate to You. It is labeled Cricket and her brothers, ready to learn from one of our talented tutors. We put that picture of Cricket instead.
Either one works.
I think she didn't actually wear the glasses. It was just for the show.
Okay, and then put the boys.
Sky should finish next section. Wow.
You were only going for 4 hours.
We did it.
We finished the tree. Now we just have to do the
You went from
hidden one.
can't even open chests to almost done. That's pretty good progress.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the raid. Booyah. Welcome to the... Oh, this is major spoilers if you ever wanted to play this game, by the way.
I know you
But
probably
it's-
thought you were done.
Sleuthy, puzzly investigation game, I guess. Again,
But
I
it
know you
turns
probably
out
thought you were
what
done.
doing here might have some pretty major repercussions on the family tree.
This is so quiet. We just needed to
Turn everything
have
down
this
except
and
the
then
speech volume.
turn the music down.
Again. Also, there's something really strange happening. I can't explain it.
Neither of us can.
I'd call it a simple misunderstanding, but it's digging at the pit of my stomach. I just have a feeling. Clark?
Last week, let's just say being the president, sometimes people bring me things.
Just skip to the important part.
Right. One of our janitors brought me some hair she'd found in Ruby Spratt's trash.
Oh, Ruby Spratt is in the confidential folder.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we were trying to put her on the tree the whole time.
Bonnie is Guy's sister. She'd sent us her hair to test potential root trees, since her DNA is closest to Guy's. But Ruby threw it out, and I wasn't sure why she would have done that. Especially right before we began testing the tree you provided. When I asked, she told me she thought the samples needed to be fresh every time they did a test.
It seems really odd. Ruby was the one who convinced us to do DNA testing in the first place. She seemed so knowledgeable. I don't like it. You've done more of a deep dive on these people than anybody else has. Clark will keep a closer eye on the DNA tests from now on. You have an eye for anomalies. We need you to find the smoking guns.
If there's anyone you're 100% positive can't be a root tree,
Or any you've got definitive evidence are root trees, then we might be able to catch Ruby in a lie.
Inconsistencies. Filling in this person is optional. Time to review all possible root trees and input your deductions. You'll then be able to end your search and reveal the truth. 13 possible root trees? Oh my gosh. Oh, so we have to identify like whether they can be
Whether they're related, blood related, and just
or just adopted.
yeah.
Like this kid was adopted, right?
No, this dude was the biological one. That one was the adopted.
Also, what's this guy's name?
You can probably ask the duck.
We're just probably gonna tell us other stuff now. Yeah, nice elite checks. 1045 out of 1337. Haven't found this clue.
Okay, maybe we should leave it here
Yeah.
and do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I thought it would be simple to finish, but no.
Filling in this person is optional.
Well, we're gonna fill in Ruby. You can't stop us.
See this one? Or this one?
That one.
Or this one? This is an extra guy line.
Yes. This guy likes people. Is that the whoever her name is?
The what?
The
Beth Knox?
No, the Robin.
Oh. Maybe?
Or Beth Knox. Beth Knox could also work.
And then this is gonna be Ruby.
Well, whatever her. That is gonna be someone's brat.
It'll be Martin. We get 2 pictures of that person, so that'll be easy to figure out. Once we find the clues. Oh wait, hold on. This.
The story one.
Just the story. Ruby Sprat, the company's lawyer, was caught throwing away DNA from Bonnie Hudson. Okay, wait, who was Bonnie Hudson?
Guy's sister. All the way over there.
Why Bonnie Hudson?
Is the closest related to Guy.
Oh, because she's descended from Guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to prove that any.
Oh, this is new, but it doesn't have any intuition on it. Well, you can verify which people in the data boxes are almost certainly legitimate root trees, very unlikely to be illegitimate, and which are too ambiguous. And with suspicion on Ruby Sprat, it's possible some of her behaviors in the past have also been cast into doubt.
Yeah, she's not unbiased like she says she is.
Yep. And we'll find out tomorrow, probably. Probably.
Unless you ditch me again.
What? I've never done that. Yeah, he better not be about to quit. I'm gonna raid Requiem, who is doing a DRMG for consistency. Sounds like he might still be going.
Goodbye forever.
Goodbye forever. Thanks for watching. We'll find out more in Roottreemania Part 3. Tune in tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
The
Bye.
final part.